Let's give it up. Come on, give it up for Lee Arenberg. You gotta keep it going, or they're not coming. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Ow, ow! Yes. And Mr. David Anders. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Cello.
Hello, everybody.
Can someone bring me my shades?
I left mine upstairs. You I know.
Should we get bite?
And speaking of shades, I tweeted out a picture. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have these awesome Peter Pan shades. Lee totally rocked those out at Disney.
I did, and I'll tell you something. They were fantabulous. Those shades.
And I have them back.
I gave them to you.
I'm just kidding.
I would wear them right now because it's so bright up here. There we go. Thanks.
I thought it was just me.
No, I guess because I wear contacts, you know. Seriously, it's like, wow, dude, overload.
Yeah, so we're so glad to have Lee, Ian, and David here, and I've worked with Lee and David before. It's my first time getting to work with you, Ian, so we're glad that you're here. So nice to get to work with you.
You guys know that song? I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. But here's the question. So I can what? What's the next verse? Does anybody know? I think it doesn't exist.
And then he just goes into the next chorus.
Right back into
Verse.
Right back into I wear my sunglasses at night.
That's a Canadian pop song. It's a Canadian pop singer.
Is it I didn't know that.
Yes.
Do we have any Canadians in the house? Ow! Well, you gotta cheer, you know.
Does anybody know where a certain television show was filmed?
Yeah.
Where? I forget. All right. Vancouver, Canada.
So we have some of these awesome folks out there, and they have submitted some crazy questions for you guys. And we're going to, oh my God, can I tell you guys a story first about Mr. Lee Arenberg? He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Can we tell him what you did to poor Faustino on Pirates of the Caribbean?
I mean, what? It was his first time on the ride, so I made sure he sat in the front.
So we'll have to ask Faustino about it.
Because I know he would I knew he'd get soaked and he'd be irritated about it. But it's he was well, the first ride, it wasn't exciting enough. I was like, dude, it's Disneyland. It's not Magic Mountain. He's like, what's that? Is that a ride? I was like, dude. But I grew up in LA, so I've been going to Disneyland since I was a kid. Right? So I know the location of every bathroom. You know what I mean? So I feel like when I go there, it's my home. And on Pirates, of course, I have a special. He's from Vancouver, so he'd never been, or he went once as a kid, So he had a good time. Then we took him on Indiana Jones.
Yesterday?
No, it was on Thursday. But I think Indiana Jones is my favorite ride.
I'm still car sick from Indiana Jones.
Well, he was driving.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like this, and the person sitting beside me, I kept knocking into. I felt so bad, but it was fun. I'm still dizzy from that, but anyway, I won't tell any more embarrassing stories. But and give it up for Christina. She's amazing. Speaking of friends who meet at conventions. Alrighty, so our first question is for you, Mr. Ian. Would August make a good author?
Yeah, I see no reason why not. He's introspective. He's thoughtful. He broods a little. You could imagine him in a room in a cabin on a wintry, snowy day, just thinking about what page is next, and then having major writer's block, and then grabbing a bottle of Jim Beam and drinking it all and getting totally trashed, and going into the kitchen and putting on the tea kettle and trying to sober himself up with coffee, and then he pours it on himself accidentally and burns himself, and then oh my God, there's the idea for the character. Burnt. He's got skin falling off of his leg, and I'm gonna write that. That's my character. That's his Achilles heel. Scars. So yeah, I don't know. do you think?
Sounds like a convention weekend to me. It sounds like a weekend at a convention to me. Let's see here. This question is for David Anders. Who would you like to have a love story with on the show? For your character, Dr. Whale. Who would Dr. Whale?
Are these two gentlemen to my left an option?
Yes.
Do you want to sit in the middle?
That would be fun. I want to sit twixt. I think I know the answer that everybody wants to hear. And that would be Megan Ori. Ruby. Hashtag whale wolf. Hashtag Frankenwolf.
Hashtag hot sauce.
Hashtag we'd have some beautiful babies. We have fun. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think they kind of alluded to that a little storyline, and I think they wanted to go in that direction a little bit with Megan and my character. In The Name of the Brother, we had a good scene at the end of a dock, and she was kind of my sounding board. And we were fellow monsters. Yeah. And then Megan went off and got a big part on a certain CBS show that's no longer with us. But, rest in peace. So we couldn't walk down that aisle.
Well, maybe we could start a petition. We could start an online petition, you know?
Yeah.
You guys do it. There you go. You want to make it happen.
Make it happen.
And let's see. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, and here's another romantic. You guys are such romantics. Sorry. So with since Nova's gone, would you want Nova back, or is there a level of interest on the show for you?
For me, no, I'm a hardcore bachelor, broken heart. I mean, it's more interesting. It's like, why would you want me happy? What's the point of that? You know? Like, I think it would just ruin the dude. It's like his pain makes him who he is. It's, you know, that's the whole essence of the dude. He's like, he's got a broken heart and it colors everything. You know, Amy's like the one. It's either Amy or bust. You know, I mean, for him, that's how he loves, right? So he was never capable of it. So he's a one and done. Yeah, hopeless case.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right. I think I'll be okay. I'm actually not the character.
No, I think it's funny though. It's the funny thing about you though. I think is like.
Well, don't you remember in that? I mean, they sort of resolved our deal, right? When she in that Good Morning Storybook, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was he blew it because he didn't give her the chance to decide how she wanted to love.
Typical guy.
So you know that's his curse. You know.
You're like one of those parrots that are made for life.
Yeah, well, I'm like a
They have one
I'm like a
partner,
wolf. It's like he's got a wolf love.
No, like, what bird are you? It's like, yeah, more like a wolf. Okay?
No, I'm just saying, I know wolves made for life too, you know, and
They
that's,
do?
Yeah. There's a great story about, because I'm really into wolves, you know, I think they're just cool animals, and there's a great story I read about this guy who was a wolf hunter, and he became the top wolf conservationist. This was like 1920s, and he realized he was trying to hunt this male wolf, and there was he'd be hired by the farmers to protect the flocks. And this wolf was uncatchable. He was just a badass hunter. So he knew the wolves, so he captured the wife. And of course then the husband came and he killed the husband and the wife. And he realized what he'd done and he never killed again, and he protected them for the rest of his life. And so, to me, that's the love that like the Grumpy had for his girl, you know, that he would just die for her, and that was it.
Deep cut.
There you go.
Deep.
Who would have thunk it?
A friend of mine is adapting that book in the screenplay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Frank John Hughes.
Yeah, that's a powerful, isn't it?
Probably going to be, it's going to be held.
Yeah, I mean, that story just resonates with me. I mean, I have a big wolf tattoo on my arm, you know what I mean? I was up in Vancouver and had this buddy that was a native, and I did a sweat lodge, and like we had this, epiphany of like what are your spirit animals and all this stuff, and yeah, this was pretty cool. And that was one of them, and he was talking about that's kind of how I treat my friends and my family, like the wolf. Anyway, not about once, but listen, something new about Lee to add to Twitter. He likes wolves. Yay!
That's the funny thing about you too, about your personality. Though, is like we're kind of like our friends. I think you're like that guy. Like we're like you and I. We're kind of smaller, but so our friends are taller. We're like that guy at the bar you don't fuck or you don't mess with. We're like we're the guy that we'll take the big guy down. I think that's what it is. That's the wolf in you too.
Yeah.
That's my little inner wolf.
I always say, as long as people don't mistake my kindness for weakness, I should never have a problem.
Yeah, that's right.
But I give respect to get it, and that's the key to traveling, right? To be safe in a place that when I was on Pirates, like if you had high status, the dudes on the Dominican island of Dominica, they're not educated. They build shacks out of whatever's around, but they walk down the street with machetes, you know what I mean? So you're like, yes, hey man, what's up, bro? Give respect and then you get it. We're not better than them. So,
well, that's very good. You got school? All right. So for Mr. Eion, here's a question for you, sir, is what was your favorite episode to film?
Oh, the last one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because I got to do this work with, it wasn't even, it was visual effects. Nose growing. That was kind of fun to actually do the long-awaited, have some sort of Pinocchio nose moment. That was kind of fun to do. Because, you're playing, as in the scene, I'm playing with the idea that my nose is growing, but of course, it's not really, and that's the fun of acting. That's when it gets, really exciting and totally unique. I've never had that experience in my acting career before, and it was a lot of fun to get to do that. End of thought.
This one's for David Anders. Would you want to do an Alias movie?
You kidding me? Absolutely.
Let's start a petition!
Yeah, starting petitions. This whole Q&A is about starting petitions. But we brought you all here today.
They're all for you.
I was actually just revisiting some of Alias just last week on Netflix. Netflix is such a wonderful thing. Don't have to load up DVDs anymore. You just press a button. And I was revisiting season 3 of that when Melissa George and I we began our
it's sweet, sweet love.
Made sweet, sweet love and made sweet, sweet death. Killed a lot of souls. And it was such a fun show, and it really holds up. I don't know if those of you who ever watched that show. This is some years ago. Okay, cool. But it was also part of the Mouse House. It was on ABC. It was on Sunday nights at 9. So it was there was some similarities. None at all. I was in it. Marin Dungy was in it. Yeah. Ursula. So yes, long story short, I did an Alias movie.
I'm a big Alias fan. I liked Alias. That was a good one. I liked your character in that. You make a good bad guy. Hashtag.
How does one take that?
I know.
Make a good bad guy.
Look, I'm going off 3 hours sleep, okay, in like 3 days.
Because I think
something just very naturally
awful about it.
Yeah.
You're such a good bad guy.
I feel like everybody has a dark side, and I gotta tap into it for money. On a week-to-week basis.
An oil well. Dig into that vein.
Fly the dairy.
Dude, I like to say, Dave, I play psychos for a reason.
Yeah, right.
This question is for all 3 of you, and we'll start with you, Lee. If you could be any other character, who would you be and why?
On this show?
Yes.
Oh.
Or I guess I'm
No, I mean, Rumple. Just because Rumple is cool, And I'd like to wear that makeup, and I'd like to be able to, play. Because one of the great things about what I love about what Bobby does is he's playing, man. You know, when he's in the moment, it's just so. I gotta say, I fangirl hard on Carlo. Seriously, that guy is. He's just one of my faves. I just love when I get to work with him. I love when I get to talk to him. I'm just proud to be on the show with Bobby, you know? And so for me, Rumple, yeah.
Ditto! What about you, Ian? Who'd be your,
I can't say that I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're happy
I like the role that I play. I hadn't really thought of it. I enjoy every single person on the show for what their uniqueness brings to it, so I can only identify with their character when I see it through the lens of, or just see them in it. When I see your face and everything that has made you over the course of your lifetime, you bring so much effortlessly to the part that makes it, I can't even imagine like what that role is, your role is, played by somebody else. And there are so many actors on this show that are cast really well. The creators of the show have done a very good job identifying certain aspects of personalities and character traits and applying them very specifically to the role, where people can kind of show up and just with ease give off the essence of what this role is. So I like everybody in it. I like watching them bring their uniqueness to it. That's like for all of us, right? We all are unique. We all have our special gifts.
So David, I guess you have to try to top that.
I cannot ever top the introspection.
I'll go to you first.
I learned this in Paris a couple years ago. I'm just in awe of some of his answers. I just try to get the yucks. I try to get the laughs, and he's over here.
We're a good team now.
Thinking.
Well, we'll start with David on this question.
Okay, yes, start with me, please.
I'm sorry. What was your favorite episode to film?
I'd have to say The Doctor, the first Frankenstein episode. Woo, one woo. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You're too kind. Thanks for coming out. I signed on to do Once Upon a Time. It sounded like a fun thing to do, but it was mainly to play Dr. Frankenstein, and it took about a year to get into the Frankenstein clothes, the steampunk gear and the guy liner, and to live in that black and white world. And once we were in it, man, it was a ride. And it was fun, and then getting to work with Bobby, absolute pleasure. And Sebi Stan was fantastic to work with. I'd have to say The Doctor. And then In the Name of the Brother, the second Frankenstein episode for me was a little more taxing. That was exhausting, but it was fun. It was rewarding. Anywho, I enjoy all of the episodes, even the ones I'm not a part of.
That's a good.
So selfless.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, baby.
You took a page from your book you're writing. So what about you, Ian? What was your favorite episode to film?
Didn't we go over that? No.
Well, David did. David did.
It was the nose.
Oh, it was your nose. Yeah, sorry.
I don't know if that was a specific acting question or, but anyways, I every episode I'm.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would answer that question.
Yeah, let me tell you.
My next one.
That's good.
He's also an agent.
I had to go deep with the Bailey thing, with him starting to go deep, Anders going deep.
Balance it. Right the keel.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I like to carry the ball, you know? I'm a ball player. Give me the ball. So anytime I get The Rock, I mean, the Dreamy episode's the greatest episode ever. For me, you know? Well, just because, like, listen, I can spend 30 years in this business and never get to kiss a girl or cry. I'm not joking. You know, that was good for me. You know, that shit still resonates in my body. Because that's how I go deep. You know, when you're an actor, you're just really telling the story. And honestly, you shouldn't necessarily find yourself all caught up in a bunch of emotion or just like junking up thoughts in your head about the moment. Just gotta be telling the truth. But sometimes this shit connects with you. And when that happens, that's gonna stay with you. That's why we do it. I've been reading this David Mamet book again for the 50th time called True and False. And you know, he talks about acting. The acting that I aspire to is acting. They used to burn actors at the stake because their performances scared the shit out of people and haunted their dreams. And that's what I aspire to do, you know, either for the good or the bad. So anything less than that is, you know, so like for me, those moments when you connect with the other players and there's that energy that happens a lot at once, and it happens with good work, that's what I'm going for, right? So, yeah, my next one will be my best one, I hope.
Yeah, there's an idea that the chemistry is really just the energy created in the relationship between two actors that they equally have to create together, or else it can't even exist. There can be no such
And really,
thing.
it should be all about, like Mamet says, it should be all about what the audience wants. Because it doesn't matter what the actor thinks. Do you know that, right? Like, say, me and Amy were doing our dreamy thing, and we're about to, like, make a sweet, sweet kiss and propose we're gonna break up or we're gonna be in love or whatever. But really, the dude is cooking carne asada tacos on the side over there, right? And the smell is wafting on the set, like second meal. So like, after 14 hours, we're like, I love you, but I'm really thinking taco. And she's like, yeah, burrito or something. And it looks like we are really into each other, but it's really like, we're hungry for that burrito. But you guys feel something else, and it's what you want. What do you come to the theater for? Why are you in that chair? Why are you watching us right now? Acting is all about that relationship, right? It's like, if they're not watching us, we're not doing it. So that's why for me, I do the cons. That's why I'm always gonna be cool to you guys and when I meet you, because I respect you. Because I respect myself. Right? So, that's storytelling, you know? I'm up here, it takes great courage to be up here for us. We happen to like the attention and we happen to like doing it, but you know, public speaking is a tough deal, right? So why are we who we are? We're not academics. We pursued another course, something that is like a lot more unattainable. So when we attain it, I think you really have to be very thankful and also, you know, stay humble to the fact that you are getting an opportunity that maybe something that a lot of people desire but didn't maybe have the balls to go for, you know? So that's why I respect all these players. To be on a show with like badass actors, that stuff turns me on. That's what gets me hot.
I want to add to that. Speaking of, you know, being humble and then your carne asada moment. The only time I ever lost my cool that I can think of on that set, on Once Upon a Time, it was raining and we're in some alley in Steveston in this town that's Storybrooke, and I'm in the scene with the boy and we're cold and it's raining, we're trying to get this scene right, and before lunch they were, you know, they had to like bring some kind of snack in, union rules before, because they were going to go overtime into lunch, so they bring a hot dog cart over and crews start going over and getting hot dogs, and like all energy like dissipates and it all goes towards hot dogs, and all you smell is hot dogs. And I was like, would you get that fucking hot dog cart out of here? I kind of yelled it on set. And it was like, whoa, this is just hot dogs. But I had to be humble. I got all annoyed about hot dogs. It was totally getting in the way of good storytelling. Unacceptable. And then I'm like, whoa, I lost my thing around hot dogs. Well, I'm gonna pick it up, put it together.
For me, I got inspired. Like, oh, good carne, like fresh roasted meat, fired me up for Amy.
So, hold on, could you cancel the hot dog order for we need extra
Get him out of here.
We need extra burritos for Lee downstairs.
Scrooge McDog.
So, this is for everyone, so we'll start with we'll start with you, David. In your career, which role gave you the biggest challenge as an actor, and how did you overcome it? I'm hungry too, honey.
I thought it was tough on you, sweetie. It was tough on me. What was the biggest challenge? I mean, there was some theater challenges, but let's go TV. The Heroes was a show I was a part of. Heroes. That was challenging. Physically, I had to wear this samurai armor, which is like 100 pounds of hell. It's my own personal torture chamber. And it was like 95 degrees. We were shooting in Agora Hills, or like the West Hills, or like over there, a little past Malibu. So I don't know. Anyway,
What's the? This is
Heroes. Heroes, yeah. And I was playing English as I always play. I was playing English people, which is like after Alias, I couldn't get arrested as American. So let's play English people, but I had to speak fluent Japanese too. So I'm going from these very elongated vowels to.
Is that your super kind of strength in it? Is linguistics?
Yeah, I guess voice, yeah, accent, and then it was, but I had no idea. I'd never spoken Japanese once in my life, and I had to learn everything phonetically. And so everything that I learned is still with me today, because I just hammered it home, just over and over, repetition. And I'd be working with Masaoka in the samurai armor, sweating and being like this like drunk rogue, being English, and then they're speaking Japanese, and then they'd be speaking together. It was this. Japanese pop star, I forget her name, she played the princess, and they're speaking Japanese fluently, understanding each other, and I would just wait for them to stop talking, because I had no idea what, and then I'd be like, and there was certain times where I'd have like these big soliloquies, and I'd have to have cue cards, so I'd be like, Soda yako, daga, it would be on and on. It was just a little taste, but I couldn't memorize it. Yeah, that was a challenge. But I'll tell you what, I met it head on and I killed it. You suck. I was nominated for 2 Kids' Choice Awards now.
Just missed out on the surfboard.
I missed out on the surfboard. Got a PCA.
We're going to start a petition for David's.
Heroes. Yeah, put me on Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, Heroes Reborn. Seriously, the online petitions, like they just renewed Agent Carter because of that. You know, the online petitions are crazy. I know I keep talking about it as a joke, but they're really a big deal.
Well, I mean, the power of the people.
Power of the people.
I mean, one thing about, say, Once Upon a Time, not to digress about off the question, but the social media. I mean, that is such a huge thing. You know that there's metadata. So there's like not only the Nielsen ratings that go out, which are how many people watching the show, but now they track what's the most tweeted show. So when there's like tomorrow night when everyone's going to be live tweeting, all that interaction between the fans and the actors, that counts. I mean, they keep score on that stuff. They're trying to figure out how to make, the studios and the networks want to make sure they can get their ad revenue. So they want to be able to track, be able to go to their soap companies and their soda companies and say, look, I mean, we got there's 150,000 tweets about the episode, right? So,
who is it? Who's watched my new show, iZombie? Yeah. See, it's because of you guys that we got renewed for a second season. Let's get dead again, everyone. Let's get dead again.
Speaking of dead, we actually do have a question in there. I know we had a question for everybody, but since sorry, I'll just go ahead and ask it. Since you're not being dead, since dead people are coming back from the dead on Vampire Diaries, where is Uncle John?
Uncle John, oh man, I had asked Julie Pleck, who's the showrunner over there, and a dear friend, to bring me back for years, and I said I'd work pro bono because those are all my chums, and I love them so much, and I had such a great time shooting that show. And Julie said that John can never come back because he never had any supernatural powers, and I was like, well, you're the one creating the lore, you're creating the mythology of the show. People will buy whatever the hell you're selling. So, but she's married to it, she's sticking to her guns. And I don't know, now that Nina's left, maybe they need a little taste of Uncle John.
That's right. Sorry, we'll go back to our other question. Sorry, we jumped off topic.
Is it the obstacle?
Yes, give you the biggest challenge as an actor, and how do you overcome it? Yes.
Every role has its own obstacle to overcome. Otherwise, I think it's not worth doing. So I'll just take the last thing I've done. I played a man who is so obsessive to the point where he kills obstacles in his way. Whoa.
Yay for murder!
Yeah, well, that was the obstacle for me. It's like, okay, well, I want to explore every facet of humanity and the desperate need for love and going so far to get it that you would kill people in order to get it is clearly an illness, and human illness is a very interesting thing to explore for an actor. Just like love at its height is also a beautiful thing and necessary thing for an actor to explore. And in this last job, when you do a TV series and you're hired on, you only have an idea of where it's going to go, and you have to agree or not agree to go on the ride. And once I was on this ride, things that were brought up in the scripts were extremely uncomfortable for me to do, and were a real moral. I have so many issues with this, but also then I had to imagine that this character also has his own issues with doing this. And what if I were in his place? And what if I had this illness? And what if I felt the compulsion to do what he does? And only one time on this thing that the writers brought in, they asked me, it was to kill this man. It was scripted to do it in one way, and they actually came to me, the producers, and they said, we just think you've killed too many people that way, or we've seen you do that, before, the way we've written it. So what we'd like to do is mix it up, and so I said, well, what are you talking about? This is right as we're blocking the scene. And they said, well, you'll just, get a plastic bag, and you'll put it over his head, and you'll asphyxiate him. I said, well, where am I gonna get a plastic bag? And they said, we'll just have one laying around. I said, well, why would a guy asphyxiate someone with a plastic bag when he could just do it? He's proven himself to be strong enough to do it in other ways. And I got the direct understanding from them that this was exciting for them, that this was about titillation, that this was about just because it's cool. And I started thinking, fuck man, for these people murder is cool. It's sexy or something. It's fucking crazy. It's so unbelievably uncomfortable, and it's funny too in some way, right? Because it's gallows humor, it's ridiculous. And so I refused, and it got all uncomfortable, and the head producer had to be called and got on the phone and get me into a conversation. Why won't you do it? Because I won't do it. And then they told me all the reasons why I shouldn't. I just sat there, and then ended the conversation and did it, and then just did it the way that it was scripted, and nothing else that was real. That was the only way to preserve dignity. So that was a big obstacle for me recently.
I'm supposed to follow that at your comedy.
Right?
You know what? I mean, obstacles. You know, I think theater for me is where, since I come from the theater, a lot of the biggest challenges I played early on in my career were in the theater. But in my kind of movie and stuff, definitely not getting fired from the first Pirates was, no, seriously, because everyone in the movie is English, you know? And I'm not like DA, you got such an ear. I mean, I got a decent ear for accents, but like I gotta put the work in. So like on something like that where literally you could get fired because your accent's not good enough, you know? Like that was like, they had a Juilliard dialect coach. Everyone's English, Johnny has their own, so I was like, all right, that's my coach. And then you just had to work hard. The challenges of acting really are getting out of your way. And I agree with you, it's what's in the script. Like that's what we're trying to do. Like it's really, my acting thing, it's really funny. You know what I do? I open the script up, and I find where my name is, the character, and then I read what it says I do, right? And then we do that. And then I say the words that it says I say, and then that's how I do it. I don't overthink it, I don't overcook it, I start there. And that's why when something like what happened with Ian, when they come in and say, well, wait a minute. Well, there is no wait a minute. This is what we're doing. If not, yeah, that would screw me too. I'd be like, okay, but the why? I don't want to have to ask that. I want my art to be totalitarian. Tell me what the fuck to do, and then get out of my way so I can do it, right? And this is what I do. I stand there and try and look the dude in the eye. I try and tell the truth, and then I try not to hit the shit on the way out, you know? Not smack the furniture. That's it, man. Walk in, hit your mark, look the guy in the eye, tell the truth, and try not to hit the furniture on the way out. That's like Jimmy Cagney or something said that.
It's so funny because our last question for you guys was what advice would you give to the band? I think that's a great advice. I think that's a good...
What advice would you give to what? To actors?
No, just what advice would you give to our fans that are here? Just anything.
Well, I mean, just in life. I mean, my life advice is always like, you know, believe in yourself, and then other people will believe in you. Put yourself in someone else's shoes before you criticize them. You know, and sometimes with the fandom, we're so passionate, but I believe in all fandoms. Like someone goes, like for me with the ships and all that, I go, I'm Navy, man. I like all ships, you know? So, that's important to me that we respect each other, you guys. It's the only way you're gonna get me mad is when I feel like people are being picked on. I stand up to bullies, I always have.
When people ask me what this show is about, if they haven't seen it, the only way I know how to describe it is what is really what I appreciate most, that I see in it, is that there's this alternate universe where all of the fairy tale characters that have ever existed, that have ever been thought, actually exist in some form of reality. And they all live there happily until one day they are cursed, and the curse is that they will be banished to another dimension in a small town in Maine here in this country, and they will be in human form, and the curse is that they cannot remember their magical gifts, the unique, special thing that makes up them and makes them a piece of human perfection in all of its glory. And they've forgotten that. And the whole journey of the story is to, at least, you know, for a season or two, is to wake up from that curse and to remember our gifts. And I see that as direct metaphor for us, for all of you, for everybody on this earth. We are taught from the time we are small children to think we are not good enough, that toe the line, stand up straight, be orderly, do as you're told. You're not good enough to do that. You're okay for that. You'll work in the factory. You'll work at McDonald's. You know, you'll get this and you'll get that, and your class is here and our class is here, and so on and so forth. But actually, none of that is really true, unless we think it's so. That's my favorite thing that this show explores, is that we all are incredible. We just have to wake up to it. That's right.
And You gotta
Once
follow that.
again. God damn you, man.
He stole your answer.
He stole my answer. Every word for word. Did you see my cliff notes? I say, any advice I have to give to anybody, I say do what you love. I think we do what we love, and we have fun doing it. And I know everybody can't do what they love, but there's something throughout every day of your life that you can find. That something every day. Find a moment, be it 5, be it 10, be it 2 minutes, be it an hour, and do something you love, because that's what it's all about. Life is short, and you shouldn't not be doing something you love. Anyway. That was terrible.
So have you guys had a good time here this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we still got more time to go, right?
Yeah,
Are you kicking
no.
us out now?
No, I'm just.
I've been seeing you in the hallway. Every time I open my door, it's like we're standing each other's.
Well, we're neighbors. I'm not stalking you.
No, I thought maybe you think I was stalking you, though. You know?
I thought you were.
Because the stalkie sometimes turns into the stalker.
I know. Well, I did the whole thing where I walked by and I would just be like, there you go, just keep walking, hoping to just get my room key, but you can't take a hint. So here it is. No, but the thing that I was telling them is I love about conventions is it's kind of like all three of you just said. Is we get to explore that part of ourselves, and the people always ask me what my favorite part of conventions are, and it's fun to meet the fans and it's fun.
I wanted to say thank you guys for being a fan, and for watching, and for your passion, and the fact that, like what DA says, your hour a day or the time of the week that you spend loving our show. I mean, we appreciate that and we respect that, and that is you loving it, and it is important, and fandom is freaking cool, and it's great to be on this side of it. I love the attention, I admit it, and I really, so it's flattering to be here. It is trippy, to be a celebrity. It's kind of neat. Something I always kind of aspired to, which is real shallow admission.
And that you'll come from all over to be further immersed in an experience of fantasy, and the fantasies that are at play in this show that you love. What is the height of love, and how far would you go for it? And if you feel that your soul is in danger, like the evil queen or Emma now, that you have this darkness inside of you and you want to beat it. All these eternal questions that humans have faced from the beginning of time. You guys are you guys are committed to it, looking into these questions. And that's a really special thing. I mean, it's so different than so many other, you could be at a convention for NASCAR right now. That'd be a different thing, wouldn't it?
Well, actually, I talked about NASCAR earlier. Nobody said anything, so I tried. I was telling a NASCAR story, and one person was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hey, nobody got my joke." So
we went to I took my family to Disneyland yesterday for the first time, and to see it's a small world after all. I saw it, 30 years ago, I think, and then to experience it again now was so cool. So amazing.
Well, it's cool when you're a dad too.
Oh, when I'm totally. Yeah, I have my 2-year-old with me.
The kids are the thing. I mean, that's actually that's the most challenging role, if you want to know. Is trying to be a good parent, and what's the balance there? How do you teach your kid the right things? How do you make him a respectful member? How do you let him also develop their own personality without kind of forcing stuff on them, letting them discover stuff? I learned more from that than anything,
What age are your kids?
I just have one, he's gonna be 8. So, but I mean, he's just seeing him get into sports. I was a big baseball player, right? I played a lot of baseball. I was pretty good.
What position?
As a catcher, and then, I played third, but in baseball, you pretty much gotta go where you're physically best at, and I'm short and squat and tough, and I like to boss people around, so you get your hand on the ball all the time as a catcher, right? But I didn't tell my kid. He's into soccer, he plays ice hockey now, and then just this year he started playing Little League, and he's good. But then we have that, now I'm playing catch with him and I can't, I mean, to me that's the neatest thing I do. That's my Dave Anders time. Just playing catch and seeing him snag the ball, pull down a pop-up.
This is you playing with Dave?
No, but I mean, that's what Dave was talking about my 10 minutes that I love. That was his advice to me. Like, do something you love. Well, that's my 10 minutes of catch. Or seeing my dude make progress and knowing how to feel the grounder. Or being able to go back on the ball, you know? And I teaching him how to throw. And then seeing him go out and be like where the other kids are, and then going, okay, well, let's teach that kid, sharing that, you know? Because they're all like coach pitch, they're all like 7-year-old dudes, they have no idea how to play ball, you know? But
is that T-ball age?
It's just past T-ball. So T-ball, then the second year, the coach kind of lobs it in and they learn to take some cuts, you know? But you're helping both kids, both teams. It's so neat. I mean, I love it. I love that part of it, of dadhood. Bonding over something like that, a game of catch. I mean, it makes you like full field of dreamsies. Just wants to have that moment, you know. So.
I'm not a dad, but my nephew is my pride and joy. And we were at Target. My sister bought this Rolex stroller, I call it, because like a BMW type stroller is what I call it. And we drive to Target and we're sitting there, and he's 4 now, but he was like 3 at the time. And so he's like, I'm trying to figure out how to open the stroller. And he's like, it's the red button. And I'm like, I'm just doing it. And he's like, it's the red button. And he's just sitting in the seat. And I'm sitting back there trying not to cuss in front of him. And he's like, the red button, Uncle Josh. And this lady walked by and she said, oh honey, look, you just go. And all of a sudden it just pops open and I'm like, oh, it is.
I mean, they're watching. That's the thing. Even at 2. Even like they're watching how you deal with stuff. And like I know that when I go monster, or you have to change some of your behaviors because you learn from it, you're gonna pass it on.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean that's a true thing.
Well, it sounds like that kid was really sweet. My son is very sweet, but he has his crazy moments. Yesterday he got to meet Mickey Mouse, and live, big, large Mickey Mouse, and have his moment. And then when we left, he was like, oh no, I want to go back to Mickey Mouse. Mickey's 2. He's like, Mickey Mouse. And my wife was like, no, we gotta get to the parade. And he's like, no, listen, he was being held by her. He's like, listen, Mickey Mouse. Psh. Clocked her one. Had a psycho moment. Induced by Mickey Mouse.
I can't
Pure insanity. Kids act crazy. They're all psychopaths. If they weren't so cute and small, you'd be like, this person needs to be like institutionalized.
I can't think of a better way.
And then you love them. Because they turn around a moment later and they're like, I love you.
I can't think of a better way to end a panel than that. I tell you, right there was a good answer. But that's how I was at, Lee and I were at Disney. I was like, I want to go see Mickey, and he's like, come on, Josh. I'm just kidding.
Gave me a chance to smack you about.
I know, right? It was perfect. But guys, give these 3 a big round of applause. Thank you so much.